Hey guys, I will go through this update. Well, it's not an update, it's an announcement, but I want to talk mostly about this tournament mode, like endless play mode that we want to make. This is something we wanted to make only when we finished with all the arenas. So we have 6 more arenas left, but each arena requires like new gladiators, quirks, new quests, and probably some feature from time to time, so it will take quite a while till we get there. And a lot of you asked if we can make some kind of endless mode. So we figured that it would be better that we move this a bit sooner, to make this a little bit sooner. So here is what we have to do before that, actually. So here is the plan. We want to add a few new quirks first, because it's big part of what makes the game fun, and it will make tournament mode, endless mode more fun as well if there is more variation and so on. We need to tweak edit update system a little bit to allow us for some of the quirks, but we will add some new ones. So next one is we really want to add that main quests chain, because that's like we are still missing some quests to kind of if you lose, let's say, Arena 5, there is a bit less quests over there, so you might run into a part where there are no quests showing up. And if we add this main quest, more quests will be showing up. But also, main quests are cool because they're going to reveal a bit about the story. Then there is an option, who do you choose for your main faction? You can choose only one of the 3 factions. And lastly, when you choose a faction and build a little bit of a reputation with them, they would let you buy their gladiators, their fighters. So right now you can randomly get peasants or bandits. Now we will move that peasants into the, if you made alliance with peasants, then you will be able to buy peasants. But if you made alliance with Baroness, you will be able to hire her guards. And then if you made alliance with Necromancer, then you have his like spellcasters, summoner, afflictor, and what's called executioner. Gladiators that you can buy and use in your own team. And it would work more like a regular shop. I mean, it would be through the quest, but it would be updated as time moves on. So it won't be like right now when you get, let's say, peasants, you get I don't know, 10 peasants, and if you want what you buy, but they do not update, so you don't have too many choices there. But here you actually have a little shop that updates and has different units with different quirks, and as you progress they get higher level in shop and so on. So that would be, we believe this is important to make before that. And one more thing. Now this is a little tricky because we already made a design decision here, but we believe it was a wrong design decision. When you upgrade building, so let's say you upgrade a barrack and you now have level 3 barrack, and you can have 6 slots of items on night. And this design decisions is just making it's making a game like invite you to play with brute force, because now you can have like 2 or 3 buildings upgraded to the max, and then you give those 3 types of units a lot of items, and then let's say there is Arena 5 or 4 and you get a new unit, I don't know, Mana Assassin or somebody, and when you buy them they have only 2 item slots, meaning that they will always be worse than your previous units, right? And we noticed that some people were just using random starting units and then refreshing the game until they get the perfect combination, because they need those first 3 buildings to be the gladiators that they will use till the end of the game, pretty much, almost, because just they you can't catch up with your later gladiators. Like you're far behind. You don't need to just buy I don't know, Purifier's Temple to get Purifier. You need to upgrade it to level 3 in order to be as strong as, I don't know, Archer that is already level 3. So instead of that, we want to move that feature away from gladiator buildings and make it so that every time gladiators get 5 levels, they get 1 slot. So at the beginning they will still have 2 slots, then level 5 there is 3 slots, level 10 there is 4 slots, and so on. But if you buy already a gladiator that is, I don't know, level 10, they will already have 4 slots in total. So that way we will avoid that brute forcing and push a little bit more tactical gameplay and let you just experiment, encourage you to experiment more with your team. So no, I know that maybe some of you like that brute force kind of thing, but we believe that most of you guys just wanted to, have a good tactic, have a opportunity to buy a new unit and that unit would be useful. So now for gladiator building upgrades, they would still give the gladiators more experience. They would be cheaper because they're doing only that for now. But eventually we might figure out something else to give them. We are not sure yet what else will we add to the specific gladiator building upgrades. If you guys have some ideas, we would like to hear them. But we will figure out something together, right? The most important thing here is that the gladiator, that specific building, it cannot give power to that gladiator, because if it's giving power to that gladiator, then it means that you are going to be stuck with your first gladiators, and yeah. Anyway, we'd like to hear your feedback on this, but this is the 3 things that we need to finish before we go into this endless mode. We'll probably call it tournament mode, we'll see. So it will look like this. We will rename the new game thing here, new game button, into campaign, because it's kind of a campaign. It's like a story that you go through, and there is always these arenas and quests and so on. And then we will have tournament. And tournament will always be on permadeath, so that the stakes are high. But the thing is about it is that it's almost like, it's not a roguelike, but it's something that you play for 10 or 20, probably around 20 minutes, and then you lose. That's it. You are trying to push as far as you can, then you lose, then you get your score. We will also implement a Steam leaderboard so that you can compare your score with other players, hopefully other friends. We are not completely sure how this works. We never implemented these things, so this is the idea, but we need to see how it works first. Then you would probably see all your scores and so on. Maybe we make some kind of rank that you are climbing, just so you have some sense of progress. We'll see about this, but this is the most important and most fun part, so you can compare it with your friends, and then your friend maybe has a huge score and you're like, what the hell, what kind of team did you use? And then it would make game a bit more social, I believe, and it would give you guys something to play with while the new content is arriving, because this should have even more replay value than the actual game, right? Anyway, let's see the update here. All right. Now I can just go through these images. So let's say you chose permadeath. You can still go with gold compensation or not. It would affect your score. So if you turn this off, you would get a higher score, but it would be tricky because you get nothing when your gladiator dies. And then it would look like this. Well, no, artist will make better art, but Still, this is the idea. So you would have 5 lives in total, meaning that when you lose 5 times, the game is done. You get your score, and you get your place here and here, and you maybe increase in the rank, and you can play again. Try better, like try to do better. Now, here is the idea. You would get some gold at the start, and then this is like a part where you're buying gladiators or items. Then you go ahead, buy. You won't have even that much gold at the start, so you could buy 1, probably 2 gladiators. And then there is this fight. We're gonna have some sort of wooden swords, so it's almost like a practice fight. And there you would just fight some fairly easy enemies, like maybe some ghouls with negative quirks or something like that. Something that you can push through. But every time you finish one of those, you like enter the battle. It's just one battle, then you go back to the shop. Then one battle, back to the shop. And then you're gonna get some kind of reward here. I'm gonna explain that a bit later. And then this panel starts looking like this. So now you're again, this arrow should be here, you are in the shop, and the next battle is going to be more serious. So it's going to look more like a championship. It's going to have 3 fights to win, and when you win 3 fights, you go back to this screen and you go ahead and buy new gladiators. So here you probably won't even be able to choose a team, because it will be very easy team. And main point of this is that you are encouraged not to go to gladiator market, see, I don't like these gladiators, then exit and enter again, and exit and enter again. But like this, you will have only like 1 or 2 gladiators, and because you will be able always to find in shop like 1 or 2 gladiators that you like, you're gonna just continue it, win a fight, get some gold, go to the second fight, then the market will update. They always update after each time you enter one of those, like each time you finish a fight. And by the end of this, you already have some team that you created, and you also get some kind of reward, so you're kind of set to start the actual game, right? The actual challenging part of this tournament. And here, okay, buy again some gladiators. Then there is this fight that takes 3 victories to defeat, and it's like championship. You have 3 choices, but those choices won't be green, blue and purple coupons. They're all going to be same difficulty. We want it to be a bit different than championship in the original mode, and also it's about finding the team that you can counter the best, right? So that it's not about, okay, just go with the green team and push as far as you can, right? But instead of that, it's about finding the team that you can win against, and then go go further. And the point of this is that we want you to kind of we want you to push as far as you can. So it's when the battles start getting really difficult, your only option, if we had green, blue and purple, would be to go with the green. And if the green coupon is like something that you cannot even counter, then you are in trouble. But if they are all same difficulty, they rise with every, let's say you fight here, they're level 1s and 2, here they're level 2 and 3, and then here they're higher level, and so on. So the point of this whole mode is to push as far as you can and get as high score as you can, and then you can brag to your friends or just feel good about getting to the new high score. Then after the last one is done, you have a shop, and then we will probably add Ring of Death here. Just to spice things up, just to okay, this whole thing ended, now you can choose one of these different battles that you can play. Then when this ends, this screen appears. So you again go ahead and buy units, you get to fight in these mini championships, but then at the end where the Ring of the Dead was, it's a boss fight. So this is like the point where you will kind of need to push through, or you will maybe lose if your team is not strong enough by this point, because the difficulty has been increasing in each of those. And if you manage to win a boss fight, then you get this reward like you got at the first part of the game. I'm gonna explain these rewards in a bit. And it goes back to this. But the rank is higher, the difficulty of the game is higher at this point. So now it's much harder to get through this. But if you were doing well, if you managed to get your gladiators like not killed that much, and if you get some new ones and so on, get enough gold, you can kind of try to follow up this difficulty curve, and it's going to get more difficult as you progress, and it's going to get impossibly difficult because you need to lose at one point and get your final score right. But now it will be really about your skill, how much can you really push through. And this is where we need those item slots to work in a way that at level 5 you get another slot, at level 10 you get another slot, because you don't have guild, you don't have bank, you don't have wages, nothing like that. So it's a bit simpler because you don't have quests also, and it's simpler, it's shorter, but it's exciting because every time you go to the battle and let's say you put your 4 best fighters, it's a tough decision because if they all die, you are going to have a lot of trouble. I mean, you can enable gold compensation and you can still maybe keep up if you still have some other remaining strong characters and so on, but that's we believe that that's going to be very fun, that every battle is going to bring a lot of challenge, a lot of stakes at the risk. I said it grammatically weirdly, but alright. So anyway, when you win the boss fight, this appears again, then you win again, then you win a Ring of Death, and then you go again to the boss fight. And here we have these special rewards, and this is how they would look. You would be able to select one of the several random rewards. So these are some completely random ideas. I don't know if we're gonna add exactly those, but it's just an idea. So let's say agility enchantment, and every gladiator gets 10 agility at start of the battle. So in this case, maybe if you have a lot of archers or maybe Vorg or somebody who can use agility, this might be good for you. And then there will be another one that is increasing gladiator's main stat, so that is good for everybody, but it's going to give only like 3 points for every stat, and then it's not as good. So if you can figure out what is your team's most important stat, like maybe you're going with a lot of spellcasters and then you want intelligence, there will be sometimes intelligence enchantment and so on. Then here's another one, full gladiator shop refresh. That would refresh the whole thing, like not just one line but all 5 lines. So let's say you are looking for new gladiators and in the shop there is nothing you're really interested in, so this might be a great option for you to just refresh it all and just open the whole new thing. And then there would be some kind of things that would affect all gladiators, like this is one idea, a guild of vampires. So everybody becomes a vampire, everybody heals 2% of the damage they deal. So it's one idea, but we can experiment with more things like that. Alright, so this is the main idea behind this. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. what you think, what do you like here, what you don't like, what you would improve, what you would add maybe, and we still have some times. Still have some time until we finish the main quest and quirks and this change in inventory. But so we can hear a lot of feedback by then, and then we would focus on this. After that, we're gonna probably go back to adding arenas, but each time we add new arena, there are new gladiators, items, quirks, quests, of course, also. But this mode would benefit from new gladiators, new quirks, new items. You would always it would always expand together with the game. So we believe it's a better decision to just put this as a higher priority than wait till the whole game is done and then only then make it. We might make more modes when the whole game is done. We'll see. We don't know exactly, but this seems to us like a good idea. But we'd love to hear from you, and that would be long enough video. So thank you for watching and playing our game, and we'd love to. I'd love to hear from you in comments or on Discord. I will leave the link to the Discord, or you can write there in Steam community comments and so on. All right, thank you guys.